When folks talk about RPGs, no doubt you're thinking of a compelling story with a party of fellow adventurers greeted with challenge with amazing art and music. I've spent many years enjoying this genre, but as time went on, admittedly, I don't have the time as I once did in my youth. I think all of us can agree that RPGs can be a huge time commitment. Hello everyone, Xander Skullion here, and today I want to talk about awesome, yet short RPGs. Now, I got this info from a website called howlongtobeat.com. It's a great website. You can actually check the category that best matches your play style, and it will estimate how long it will take you to complete a game. You can also check on the games individually and really break down the stats. The first game I want to talk about is HalfMinute Hero. You're tasked by the time gods to become powerful in 30 seconds and defeat the Dark Lord, who, by the way, can end the world in the same span of time. There's no grinding, and you'll be rushing from one end of the stage to the next, completing objectives and fighting monsters in a simple battle system. And generally try to stay ahead of the most powerful enemy of them all, the clock. It's the definition of a short yet fun role-playing experience. It's a pick up and play game, fast-paced, and really scratches that RPG itch in no time. It's on many platforms from Xbox Live Arcade to the PSP. This game can easily be beaten in about 8 hours. Illusion of Gaia is a classic on the SNES. The story, though, is very stereotypical. It's a coming-of-age story of a boy set out to find his father, and this journey turns him into a hero. It's not memorable for the story, and it's not exactly memorable with the gameplay either. It's a standard action role-playing experience featuring dungeons inspired by real-life locations like the Great Wall of China. But it has a simple yet engaging combat system, and the characters who manage to be charming even with limited development. It's truly a masterful combination of all these elements that make this one spectacular RPG that you can easily finish in about 13 and a half hours. Parasite Eve is like the love child of Final Fantasy and Resident Evil. The grueling battle between a New York police officer named Gaia and a mysterious woman named Eve is narrated with a cinematic approach that gives it a distinct flavor. It is also enhanced by light RPG elements, with a battle system that does away with some of the trappings of your more traditional turn-based systems. I actually recently first started playing this game this year because it does take place during Christmas, and after all, it holds up surprisingly well. I know some PS1 games can be a hit or miss, but trust me, you won't want to miss this. And this story can be easily beaten in around 9 hours and leave you craving for more. Super Mario RPG is one of the later titles on the SNES and had Nintendo teaming up with Squaresoft, and it's truly a masterpiece. With a delicious blend of sense of humor with the writing, colorful graphics, and while not a super in-depth battle system, it never gets old. They really pulled it off, making the title feel like a turn-based RPG, but keeping the fast reflexes that we love with Super Mario platforming. Introducing interactive elements in an extremely solid traditional turn-based system that keeps you wanting to come back. If you're looking for a short RPG with plenty of charm, I think it's time to pull up your overalls and give this game a try, and you can complete it in around 17 hours. Chrono Trigger may be a surprise to be on this list, because while the main story is only 21 hours long, you'll want to stay a little while longer. The game has a charming cast from a frog knight to a prehistoric chef, and the non-vocal hero Chrono goes on a time-traveling journey to save the world. If you've been gaming for the past 2 decades, I'm sure you've heard of this timeless JRPG classic, and I highly recommend the port on the Nintendo DS. Not only is it the most faithful in translations, but you can play it on the go, so it's great for slow days at work or traveling yourself. South Park isn't for everyone, but if you're like me and you grew up as a teen in the early 2000s, I'm sure you've imitated Cartman's voice at least once. And South Park Stick of Truth, like the show, doesn't take itself seriously. You assume the role of a new kid in this title and you can freely explore South Park, Colorado. It's arguably one of the better RPGs of the modern era, and certainly one of the best South Park games ever made. These crazy ideas combined with a great RPG mechanics and the typical South Park writing makes this quest for the Stick of Truth a journey to remember, and surprisingly, the main story is only 11 hours long. So this concludes the video. These are some awesome short JRPGs for you guys to check out, and be sure to check out howlongtobeat.com. It's such an informative website and really makes some of the overwhelming feeling of starting a new game feel a little bit more realistic. If you have a recommendation of a short RPG, be sure to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear some recommendations and we can converse within the community. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, but also hit that bell so you're notified on all future videos that come out on this channel. Anyway guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.